Hello there, welcome to this channel. If you are joining for the very first time, I welcome you to the Book Design Academy. This is the Gracify speaking, and in this video, I want to show you some certain things you might have actually been overlooking, which perhaps are the reason your book have been getting blocked on Amazon, or maybe you have lost some account even to some of these issues. All right, so if this are actually your predicament at the moment, that Amazon is actually blocking almost all your books, or they are terminating your account to some certain reasons, okay? All right, so I want you to stick with me to the very end of this video. You may want to consider taking a jotter, all right, and a pen to actually note down everything I'm going to be telling you in this video. You may be thinking, why should you listen to me, all right? This is me here telling you that ever since I've been doing Amazon KDP for some years now, I've never lost an account and I've never had any issue related to book blocking or whatsoever. All right, all my books are actually intact, and almost all the clients I work for, who I design book for, okay, they don't have this issue of book blocking. So, and the specific and the major things which I use personally, and of course I do tell most of the people I work for, all right, are the things I'm bringing to you right now to tell you so that you don't fall victim of all these things. Now, bear in mind that some of these issues actually might be what you actually cause yourself, peradventure due to some certain things you don't know, okay? And the fact that you don't know all these things may be um, that's the reason you actually fell victim of what happened, okay? So, but for that not to happen again, that's why I'm actually bringing this information to you. Information is actually powerful, okay? So you don't want to fall victim, you don't want to keep wasting your effort publishing, writing books, outsourcing content, spending a lot of money to bring your book to life, and eventually Amazon reject it, or any other platform you take it to, they reject it. So these are some certain things you have to take note. Whether you are, you are working on your book alone, from content generation to proofreading, editing, and then you are even the one publishing yourself. Take note of all this, okay? And if any part of the process is being outsourced to professionals, definitely most of them we should know all this. But if they don't, you want to make sure that when you are writing your brief to send to them, you want to make sure that you note all these things there for them so that they can take it into consideration. All right. Most of the time, when you outsource your content to professionals, either on any freelancing site, Upwork or Fiverr, whichever freelancing sites you work with, okay, most of them you have to let them know that this is the platform you are working with. So most of them definitely they are well informed as regard some of the rules guiding these platforms. But you don't want to take any chances. Still add all the informations, all the cautions they need to take in your brief before sending your before they start working on your project. So there are times that you may fall victim of newbies who are into freelancing, and then they don't, most of them are not well informed yet, or they're actually not aware you're actually trying to bring this book to an online platform. All they want to do is to just bring, give you content that if you are to be doing a local launching, you are just doing a physical printing of your book yourself, there may not be any problem. But this is you bringing this to the online market, which of course there are rules and there are regulations to obey if your book will stand in the market forever. All right, so this is the very first information you want to bear in mind. So yourself, or the people that are working with you, your team, you should take note of this. If you are watching this and you work for yourself personally, or you outsource your content, make sure all this information I'm going to be listing out right now, you take note of them properly. Okay, so I'm going to be segmenting this information that I'm about to dish out to you into two parts. The very first one is what you need to take note of when you are writing, and the second part will be what you need to take note of when you are publishing your book. Okay, these are two phases now that we are going to be, talking about in this video. So now you want to start your book. What is the very first thing you need to be very cautious of? If every other information or every other tips I'm going to be giving to you, we even stand to work for you. Okay, the very first thing is that you should avoid, using similar or closely related title with existing books in the market. Many people are, due to trying to use some cunning method to make sure that their books get visibility, they are not well trained or well informed on how they can actually do this properly, and eventually they go ahead and copy an existing book information word for word or too closely related, and eventually they get either the account or the book being rejected or the account is being terminated. This is you infringing on another person's property. So if you want to leverage on perhaps a trend or the strength of an existing book, and you want to give a similar a similar title to what is already selling. This is you leveraging on what is already selling. You are not trying to start from scratch, all right? So you want to make sure that you do it professionally, still like an artist, okay? So that's a tip for you. You want to still like an artist. Don't copy word for word. Don't copy verbatim. Almost all the keywords you see in market, there are always synonyms to them. You just have to look for the strength of the keyword, which is the major keyword in that particular title, and then you craft some other string of words around that to form a unique title for yourself. Not you copy the exact phrases or the exact sentence the person used, and then you think you're going to go scot-free with it. It's not going to happen. Definitely not with Amazon. Okay, so that's the very first thing you want to make sure you do. So, and since market research is the very first thing you're going to do before you even start writing or putting things together, as far as your book is concerned, make sure that you stay away from trademark keywords. All right, some keywords themselves are trademarked by some brands. All right, and there are some authors who have actually trademarked their own title. I hope you get this now. So you want to stay away from two things have actually they are similar, but just under one point now. Stay away from using closely related title with existing books, and stay away from using trademark titles or keyword. So don't just be tricked. Don't leap for joy when you actually see the green indication when in the indicator rather when you are doing your market research with whatever tools you use, and you think it's a green pasture, then you don't do your due diligence into checking whether that particular title is trademark or not, and you jump in on that title. Eventually, you get yourself to blame. All right, so that's the very first thing you want to do. So now, this being taken into consideration, now you have come up with a title which you are going to use for your book. So another very germane things you want to actually take note of before you start using that particular title to come up with your book content is to take away every repetitive statement, either phrase or word. All right, this is a combination of both your title and your subtitle now. This actually, for some years ago or some times ago, is being allowed on Amazon, but presently now their updated terms and condition does not allow you using repetitive words or phrases both in your title and your subtitle. You want to stay off that. So if it's very necessary for you to repeat something, just go ahead and research for the synonyms of that particular word that you can actually try to use and convey the same message to your audience without repeating the exact word. Take for instance, now you are writing a book on inflammation diet cookbook, all right? Now, let's take for example that Inflammation Diet Cookbook is the title you choose to work on. All right. Now you want to craft your subtitle. Make sure that the word inflammation does not repeat itself again in your subtitle. Okay. The word inflammation must not be repeated. The same thing goes for any other niche or any other title you want to work on. Make sure that no keyword is being repeated. So when you are crafting your title, which is the very first thing you are doing, and your subtitle, make sure you cross out every repetition. So now you want to have a simple and a clear title and subtitle to use without anything being repeated. So once this is ascertained, then you you are good to start using that particular title and subtitle to start generating your content. Now moving to content generation, what is what is the tip or what is another information or anything that can actually lead you into problem with online publishing platforms, majorly Amazon. Okay, now for content generation, what you need to stay away from is reused content or plagiarized content. Now, this should be point number 3 now. Okay, you want to stay away from reused content or plagiarized content. When I mean reused content or plagiarized content, these are contents that are either available online or copied word for word from another person's existing book. All right. This I'm saying this for some people who may be using some cunning methods to gather content for themselves, and they will go into an existing book or any online um, um, PLR platforms to get books, and they will just go ahead and copy the content of the book to repurpose to make another book. That may lead you into trouble. All right, you want to stay off from using reusing existing content or reusing. There actually no nothing new under the world, right? But there's always a new way you can actually convey the same message in a very unique way, different from or the way someone or someone else has actually did it before. So this is you bringing your uniqueness and your professionalism into writing. Do not steal someone else's content and think you can go scot free with it. It's not going to work. All right, that's number 3. Stay away from plagiarism or reusing another person's content. When you are making your researches and you see a particular information you need to add into your book, there are always ways that you can rephrase or paraphrase that particular statement or that information and yet convey it in a unique and a new way. Do you understand? Without, you know, sounding similar to someone else's statement. I believe that is taken. So the next thing which I'm going to be talking about is using similar or almost related pen names. You want to choose a pseudonym. This is a name you are going under in case you are hearing this for the first time. You don't want to use your name as an author. You don't want to go under a cover. This is legal, actually. It's not illegal in writing. It's a legal thing to go under a pseudonym when you are publishing books online. You don't want to go by your name. All right. So you want to make sure that you don't have a like 99 or 90% related name with someone else in the market, especially established authors. You want to stay away from that kind of name. I've seen people trying to use this pseudonym of a thing as another black art method to gain visibility on Amazon. That they copy some an existing author's name, paraphrase it, or add some initials to it to you know to actually use for their own book. This can actually be very risky if it's not done properly. All right, so you are considering this. Make sure you know you check well before using that kind of name. For established authors, stay away from their names. I okay. In case you are hearing for the first time, there are some names that are even trademarked. There are some author names that are trademarked. So you want to check that up and be sure that you stay off them. Okay, all right. So now, if you are coming up with a new name, fact check it on Amazon, and be sure that that particular name, that particular string that you are picking. Okay, let's take for example, you take Jack Johnson as your pen name, and you are working in a cookbook niche, not knowing that there's an existing author also in that same niche, in that same cookbook niche, who is also going by the name Jack Johnson. So you using that kind of name for your home book under the same umbrella of cookbook niche, then you may be calling for trouble. All right. So before using your pen name, please go ahead and check the platform and be sure that the name or the string is either you change that string of names to another thing and recheck again to be sure, or you had an initial to yours to make sure you are actually different. I hope you understand my point now. So that's another point. So the next point you want to take note of is avoid adding lines in your Kindle. For those of you that publish Kindles, if the way your content is being structured, there are lines like a journal line. This is common with workbook related content, workbook related books. If it's a self-help book or a book that has to do with fitness or something, or any book whatsoever that they need to journal or to write something down inside that book, and lines has been added inside the paperback version, which is the printed copy. When you're going to publish your Kindle, make sure that all the lines and all the elements that will make the book to appear like a low content or in no content books, make sure you remove all the lines. Do you understand? So what you just want to add to your book, either in the disclaimer or at the end of that Kindle, is that journal or workbook exercises are inside the printed version of your book. Do you understand? You can just add that particular statement to let them know that there are actually, something is actually missing in the Kindle, which is not obviously there's no use of adding, there's no point in adding lines in the digital format of your book since they can't actually write, you know, on it. So they can actually get to do this using the printed copy. So you can just add a simple note that this particular information in this Kindle is not yet complete, but the completed version and the exercises are actually available in the printed um, format, which is either the paperback or the hardcover. All right. So I believe that is taken. So most of the time, you discover that your book, when you publish your Kindle, in few minutes you discover that they have blocked it. Do you understand? So this may be the reason. So you want to check your content and be sure. Gone are the days when Amazon will keep on sending emails. Most of the time, not so many people are actually lucky to be getting, consistent emails for them to be, updating or make some corrections on their book. Most of the time, recently now, they give you a straight blocking. Okay, so because if you are coming into their system, they expect you to have, gone through their terms and conditions. So they are kind of strict at the moment. So you want to make sure that you actually stay on the safe line. All right. So the next one is avoiding using copyrighted images both in your cover and in your interior. By interior, I mean your manuscript. Avoid it as much as you can. Avoid using copyrighted images both on your covers and your interior. If any of this is spotted on your cover, two things will definitely happen, and the chances of your book getting blocked is the highest. It's either they send it to draft and they send you an email to make correction, or they block the book straight away. And once they block the book, no, the chances of getting it rectified or bringing it back to draft may actually be difficult. So what you don't want to happen is that you don't even get your book blocked at all. If you are lucky they send it to draft, then you are well informed now. Make the necessary correction and re-upload your book and it will be accepted. All right. So when designing, you can just use AI to generate any images, or if you have access to any royalty-free website where you can get images. Use them. Don't If you are designing with Canva, please stay away from Canva images. If you are not skilled with image manipulation, don't use it. All right. In my book design course, I discuss how you can, you know, go about image manipulation even when using Canva images. All right. But if you are starting out, I don't recommend, you are not grounded in the knowledge of image manipulation, please stay away from using Canva images. You might have been doing it and you are going scot-free with it. You can never tell when it's going to boomerang. All right. So you just want to stay off from it as much as you can. So if you are outsourcing your content, make it specifically known to your designers that you don't want copyrighted images. And if they are going to be using any online free images as all this, they must give you the source link to those images. If it's from a royalty free platform, they should copy the license link and keep it safe for you in case Amazon requests for it, so you can actually get to send the links to them, and your book will be made available on their platform. All right. So another thing is that you should not copy or model an existing book cover A to Z. Okay, this is almost similar to the very first point I said, that you modeling a title of an existing book. So the same thing, if you are trying to copy, a particular typography, a particular format of, cover design, don't don't model them, don't copy them A to Z, and you now having almost 100% similar cover to the existing book. They won't accept your book. These are some of the reason. This particular modeling is one of the reason you may be getting emails like misleading customer experience. Do you understand? Because it will be difficult for a customer coming online to buy a book and they are seeing book a particular title having almost the same um, title and the same book cover. Do you understand? So you're actually giving them a tough time. You are misleading them. If that such customer should end up getting the wrong book, then they are definitely coming back to Amazon to make a complaint. And this is what Amazon does not want. So you want to make sure that you don't do that as an author. All right. You are creating, you are modeling any cover. Do it professionally and don't make it almost 100% similar to the existing book. Okay. So the next one under, which is going to be the last thing I'll be mentioning under writing process, okay, is the way you format your manuscript. I'm still going to dwell much on this towards the end of this video, so you make sure you watch to the end so you don't miss out on that. How you format your book is very essential if your book is going to go live at all. All right. There are two phases which your book is going to pass when you publish them, especially on Amazon. The very first one is what I've discovered to be the programmed or the robotic review. Do you understand? This is peradventure Amazon using AI or bot to run a check through your book before they move it to the human content reviewer. Okay, so this is one of the reasons you may discover that you click the publish button, and less than 10 minutes or less than that, you discover that they block your book straight away. This is definitely not human working. Okay, your content has been run through an already programmed system, and if they should discover any issue with that your content, they will block your book straight away. Okay, this is actually similar to when you discover that your paperback goes live and then your Kindle either stays in review for a very long time, or they actually get to block it. It is the system. All those things has been automated. So Kindle is actually do fall victims of this most of the time. So now for your paperback, the review team, they will do their own check also before they pass your book before it goes live. So now, how does formatting or the feel of your manuscript influence whether your book is going to go live or not? These are human beings. Okay, so long your book does not have plagiarism, and that is what may make you to have issue with the first phase, which is the AI or the already programmed review using their bots. So long the moment you are able to scale through that process, the second phase, the way you format your book, the feel of the interior is actually will actually go a long way in influencing whether your book will go live or not. How do I mean? These are actually real human being, you know, reviewing your book. When you design your book in a very attractive way, trust me, they have senses, they are also being ruled by impulse and hormones. They can sense things that are good, you know, from things that actually that looks crappy. Okay. Now, if you format your interior in a very nice way, definitely they will feel there's this perception is going to bring in them that this is actually a professional bringing something tangible and of good essence. Even your content may not be as rich as they are going to perceive it, but the way you actually formatted or designed the interior may or will definitely influence them to pass your book to go. If you have not heard this before, then you are hearing it from me now. So, aside God, I'm definitely sure that keeping to all these rules also has helped me thus far. Okay, I'm not claiming to be uh, Mr. Know It All, right? So, but following all these rules with the grace of God has actually helped me thus far that I've never had any issue with account termination or Amazon blocking my book. I do full interior design. I don't use MS Word for my online publications. I do full interior design for myself and for all my clients that I work for, and I use Canva. If you care to know. All right. So let's move on. Now, I believe you've gotten the real tips about this. Format your interior very well. If you can't do it, then outsource to professionals who can help you out. The way the review team they feel your content. Now, let me show you something now. Okay. I was actually going to show you this towards the end of this video, but let me just show you now since I've actually said almost everything I wanted to say about it. Now, this is a this is an MS Word manuscript, okay, for a travel guide. Now, let's check this out. This is an interior designed manuscript for a cookbook. You can attest to the quality of what you are seeing on the screen. All right. Now, if this is coming out as a colored or a premium or standard color finishing printing, now you can just um you can just actually visualize how awesome it's going to look by the time they print out this interior. Of course, it's going to come out nice, even if it's being printed in white and black. You can see the arrangement and formatting that everything looks so good. So here's another one. This is a travel guide, all right? And I don't want to review the content of the book because these are some of my clients' book work, all right? So I don't want to review much about the book, but you can attest to it that this is actually, you know, obviously looking, it looks more professional than you presenting this to the review team. I hope you get my point now. So let me show you another one. This is another manuscript. Definitely they will feel something is actually genuine, something is actually no professional about this book you are bringing to the market. And because of that, they are going to pass it. Nevertheless, note that all the aforementioned um, points that I've listed, if you still don't stick to them and you do interior design, they will still block your book. Do you get my point now? So I believe that is taken. So now let me quickly rush through what you need to take note of when publishing your book. As I've said earlier, you should cross-check your title again and be sure it's void of repeated keywords. Cross-check when you are publishing, cross-check your title to be sure that is free of repeated keywords. Ensure your title is free of ambiguity. Okay, you want to make sure that this may be why you have been getting emails about misleading customer experience emails all the time, and they keep on blocking your book. Why? If your title is too vague, if it's not clear enough for someone to just pick what your book is all about at a glance, then you are in for trouble. Okay, so don't make your title or your word combination to be too difficult to read, to be too difficult to understand. Make it as simple as possible. The same thing goes for your subtitle. When you are done writing your subtitle should just go ahead and buttress what your title has already highlighted. All right, don't craft something too difficult because you are trying to sound professional or technical jargons. Don't use them. Make sure everything looks, all the words, the grammar looks so basic that almost every any one of anybody with any educational level can actually get to understand what you are trying to pass across. Inflammatory diet cookbook. All right, clear enough for a title, or inflammatory diet cookbook for the beginner. For a beginner, clear title for a clear no sentence or statement enough for a title. Going to be the subtitle, don't repeat anything again. You know, I said that earlier. Just a bit or a you said inflammatory diet cookbook as the title, and then your subtitle now you can be like a beginner's guide. Do you understand? For so, whichever way you want to craft it. So just ensure that now this is your subtitle now is just buttressing what your title has already said, that okay, this is an inflammatory diet cookbook. All right, the subtitle is now telling us that it's beginner friendly to achieve wellness free of the inflammatory or whatever. Make peradventure a patient suffering from inflammation, all right, or someone who was just discharged from an hospital and they are being given a diet, a strict diet to follow. Okay, and perhaps their physician or their dietitian recommended an inflammatory diet to follow. So then they come online to get your book. So they will be able to pick if the book is for them through your title and your subtitle. So you want to make sure that all these things are just simple and clear enough. All right. So your subtitle, as I've said, should buttress, and everything now, both title and subtitle, just a tip, right? Make sure that they are less than 200 characters, either equal or less than 200 characters. Don't make it too long. No, no, gone are the days of keyword stuffing on Amazon KDP. Right now, if you try it, you may actually not make it through with them. Don't try to stuff keyword with the little keyword you can get. Utilize them with the strength based on the strength of your keyword. Not the one you are using for your title and your subtitle, and every other ones can come in your backend keyword. You can embed some of the keywords in your description. They are still going to rank it. They will get indexed by the algorithm, and you will get ranked for them. All right, just capitalize on the strength. Which one is the most essential out of the keywords you are working on? Then place them strategically in the title, subtitle, so the rest of them can come in your description and in your backend keywords. You don't have to put all the keywords you see in your subtitle, chunk them, then eventually your title and your subtitle come out so vague, so ambiguous, and you know what the end result might be. So for your description now, that will be the next thing. Make sure that it's clear enough also. Don't It's your sales letter. Just tell your customer this is what my book is all about. List your benefits, the benefit of your book, all right, and give a clear call to action. So when you are writing, just make sure that you utilize some of the keywords that you don't get to use in your title and your subtitle to write your description. And another tip for you: bolding every keyword in your description. That's how the algorithm perceived it and pick it and index it when related search terms are being searched. Okay, when you are writing your description, every keyword that you see that are essential, index it. Highlight and bolding them. All right. So your backend keywords should as well be kept simple without repetition. Don't repeat anything. Keep it simple. Don't stuff it. And you know there are some There are some words that you must not use in your backend. What the likes of books or free, um, new sellers, bestsellers, best. Do you understand? So all those words you can go and read up most of this on their terms and conditions. You should not use them. So and for the ones you are going to use, so long some of the important keywords already appear in your title and subtitle, you don't need to repeat them in your subtitle in your backend again. You are just wasting those boxes. Use them for other related keywords and you'll be good to go. So the very last thing is that you should choose the right market to publish your book on. So if you are publishing a German book, don't go and choose the wrong market. Definitely a translated German book, when you first open your tab, they will ask you to select the language. Choose the right language for your translation. And towards the end of that particular page for the book details, they will ask you which marketplace. All right. A translated German book is expected to be in Amazon.de. The same goes for every other translations where Amazon has their subsidiary website. You can actually choose them. For French, you choose Amazon.fr. For Italian IT, all right. For Canadian, Amazon.ca, I think. So just make sure you choose the right marketplace, the right primary marketplace for your book. Don't choose the wrong one so that they don't send your book back to draft or they block it. And make sure you choose the right language. If it's English, it's always in English by default. But if you are not doing English, make sure the very first thing you will see before your title is the tab to choose whether you are the language you are publishing in. So choose the correct language, and the rest of it should be easy peasy. All right. So for those that do interior design, when you are done uploading your content, you'll be asked to choose the interior, the trim size rather. So you know definitely that you are going for a bleed interior, because most of the time interior designed manuscripts are always good with bleed. Most of them are done with bleed. Even in my course, in the book design course that I have personally, I advised my students whenever you are doing interior design using Canva, just go with bleed. All right. And if you don't understand what I mean by bleed or no bleed, just go to this channel and check for a video which I've recorded on that. It's very explanatory. You're going to get to understand everything you need to know. Okay. So now that's all. More on formatting. Make sure your content is well formatted. If you want to learn how to use interior design to do how to use Canva to do nice interiors like what you are seeing on my screen, just check the description of this video, or you check the bio section and connect with me, or just go straight to the link placed in the description of this video and get the access to the course. It's hosted on Seller, and you can chat me up to make a direct payment irrespective of the country you are watching this from. You can get to pay through Seller. All right. So I believe you've learned a lot of things from this video, and I believe this information has been quite helpful to you. If it has, please, I want you to like this video, and if you are yet to subscribe to this channel. And for every of your friends out there, you can just choose to share this video with them. It's going to go a long way in saving them a lot of stress on their publishing platform. Is there anything you want to ask me? Is there any video you want me to make about anything regarding Amazon KDP, book interior design, cover design, or any question you have regarding this particular video I just made? Just go straight to the comment section of this video and drop your question, and I will be there to answer. Till I come your way again, I remain my humble self, the Gracified. Peace out.